You've somehow managed to navigate life, pay for streaming services you forgot you have, and keep a plant alive for a whole week without knowing what a mortgage is. It's impressive, really, in a slightly alarming way. Today, I'll explain mortgages to you like you're 5 years old, and by the end of this, you'll be able to confidently bore your friends at dinner parties with your newfound and, frankly, basic financial knowledge. So, let's begin. You want to buy a house. A real house, with a door and windows and a spot on the couch that will become your permanent dent. You look at the price tag and realize it costs $1 bajillion. It's stupid money. You check your pockets, you've got some lint, a receipt from 3 years ago, and maybe $20. This is not going to work. You don't have $1 bajillion. But you know who does? The bank. The bank has loads of money. A mortgage is just you going to the bank, hat in hand, and saying, "Hello, Mr. Bank. You have lots of money, and I have big dreams and an empty wallet. Can you please buy that house for me? I promise, I pinky promise, I will pay you back." The bank, which is a business and not your friend, looks at you and says, "Okay, fine. We'll buy the house for you, but you're going to pay us back for a very, very, very long time. And you're going to pay us back more money than we lent you." This is the most important part. A mortgage is a loan. It is the biggest, scariest loan you'll probably ever have. It's like when you were a kid and desperately wanted the giant $1,000 Lego castle at the toy store. You only had $5 in allowance, so you asked your mom to buy it for you, and you had to pay her your entire allowance every single week until you were basically 30. The bank is your mom. The house is the giant Lego castle. Your paycheck is your allowance. Now, let's break down the boring words that adults use to sound smart. The first one is principal. The principal is the actual amount of money that the bank gives you to buy the house. It's the price tag on the house itself. And if the house costs $330,000, the principal is $330,000. This is the part of the loan that is actually for your house. It's the cost of the Lego castle. It's that big, scary number that you agreed to pay back. And remember this word, because it's the only number in this whole deal that makes any sense. Everything else is just extra. Next up is the bank's favorite word, interest. Interest is the extra money that you have to pay the bank just for the privilege of borrowing their money. It's their fee, what allows them to make profits. It's the same reason that the bankers drive nicer cars than you. The bank isn't some charity, it's a business, and its business is renting out money. The interest you pay is the rental fee. Now, let's go back to your mom and the Lego castle. Your mom says, "Sure, I'll buy you the $1,000 castle, but for every month it takes you to pay me back, you also owe me a cookie." That cookie is the interest. Now, it doesn't really sound so bad at first. I mean, 1 cookie a month, no big deal. But you have to pay her back for 30 years. That's 360 months. Or in other words, 360 cookies. You're not just buying a Lego castle, you're buying a Lego castle and also funding your mom's cookie habit for 3 decades. I mean, the bank wants its cookies. In fact, for the first few years of your payments, almost all of your money is going toward paying for the cookies, not the castle. You'll be paying, and the amount that you owe on the castle will barely go down. Honestly, it's pretty depressing to look at, but don't think about it too hard. Just know that interest is the price of borrowing. But then, there's the down payment. Now, before the bank even agrees to this whole ridiculous scheme, they want to see that you're serious. They want you to have some of your own money in the game. The down payment is the chunk of cash that you pay up front, out of your own savings. And now, back to mom. Before she buys the Lego castle, she says, "Show me you're not a total flake. How much money do you have saved up in your piggy bank?" You shake it around and you've got $100 or so. So you give that to her. That there is your down payment. But now, she's only got to lend you $900 instead of the full $1,000. The bigger your down payment, the less money you actually have to borrow from the bank. And if you borrow less money, guess what? You pay less interest. Let's say that again. Bigger down payment means less borrowed money. Less borrowed money means fewer cookies for the bank. You want to give the bank as few cookies as possible. I mean, they have enough cookies, so a good down payment shows the bank that you're a responsible person who can save money, and it saves you a fortune in the long run. And now, for a truly awful word, amortization. I know, it sounds complicated, but it's just a fancy word for the payment plan. It's the super long, super boring chart that shows you exactly how you're paying back the loan over time. This chart breaks down each monthly payment that you make for 15 or 30 years. It shows you how much of your money is going to the principal, which money is going to the Lego castle, and how much is going to interest, which again is the cookies. The length of that chart is your loan term. Usually it's 15 or 30 years. Now, 30 years is a very long time. When you're 5, that is 6 of your lifetimes. I mean, you'll be a completely different person by the time you're done paying. You'll have gray hair and weird opinions about neighborhood kids. When you first get your amortization chart, you'll see that your first payment is maybe 90% interest and 10% principal. You're basically just buying a carload of cookies for the bank. But as the years go by, the scale slowly tips. Eventually, you're paying more towards the castle and fewer for the cookies. But it takes forever. I mean, that chart is a legally binding map of your financial life for the next few decades. So, no pressure. And lastly, there's escrow. Now, this is maybe the most confusing part, but the logic is honestly pretty simple. In short, the bank doesn't trust you. On top of paying for the house, you also have to pay for other house-related things like property taxes and homeowners insurance. Your city wants taxes for having roads and schools, and you need insurance in case your house burns down. The bank knows that you, a forgetful human, might forget to pay these very important bills. And if you do forget to pay your taxes, then the government could take your house. If your house burns down and you have no insurance, the bank's investment goes up in smoke. And they don't like that idea too much. So, the bank sets up this special little savings account for you called an escrow account. It's like a separate piggy bank that the bank holds onto for you. Every month, along with your principal and interest payment, you pay a little bit extra. The bank then takes that extra money and puts it into your escrow jar. And then, when your tax bill and insurance bill are due, the bank pays them for you, using the money from your escrow jar. It's forced responsibility. It's kind of like your mom saying, you also need to pay for shelf space for your Lego castle and insurance in case the dog eats it. I know you'll just spend that money on candy, so give it to me, and I'll pay those bills for you. It kind of feels like you're paying even more money, but really you're just paying your other bills in a different, more controlled way. So now the question begs, what happens if you just stop paying? If you stop giving your mom the allowance money for the Lego castle, well, it's pretty obvious she's gonna get annoyed. After a few warnings, she's coming into your room and just taking the castle back. You don't get a refund for what you've already paid, you just lose the castle and all the money that you put into it. This is called foreclosure. It's when the bank takes your house back because you broke your pinky promise to pay. It's basically financial eviction, and it racks your credit like a toddler with a crayon on a white wall. The bank then sells the house to someone else so they can try and get its money back. They're not sentimental about it at all. To them, it's just business. So, a mortgage is just a pinky promise with a bank. You promise to pay them back for a very, very, very long time for buying you a house that you couldn't afford. You pay for the house, you pay extra for their trouble in the form of cookies, and you pay into a special jar so you don't forget your other chores. And if you break the promise, the bank takes your house back. See? Pretty simple. Congratulations, you are now officially smarter than you were when you started this video. I mean, you get it, you understand mortgages, which means, well, you're basically a financial wizard.